What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at this 2023 BMW X5. Big shout out and thank you to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this brand new SUV for today's video. Definitely take a look at their website, link down below. And the model that we're looking at today is an xDrive 40i, finished off in Manhattan Green Metallic, has the M Sport package and an MSRP at $75,500. Underneath the hood of the 2023 BMW X5, you're going to find a 3-liter inline 6-cylinder turbocharged engine. It pumps out 335 horsepower with 330 pound-feet of torque, and it has an 11 horsepower mild hybrid system. The engine is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission and sends the power to all 4 wheels through the xDrive all-wheel drive system. And with a curb weight around 4,800 pounds, running on a 22-gallon fuel tank, you're looking at 21 miles per gallon in the city with 25 out on the highway, and this can even tow 6,600 pounds with payload a little over 1,000 pounds. Overall length is 194.3 inches with wheelbase at 117.1, width is 78.9, and height is 68.7 inches. And then now moving on to the exterior style with the 2023 BMW X5. Unchanged from the 2022 model, but it still is such a good looking modern SUV. You can see the LED headlights, and I love the lower portion will light up as the daytime running light. They have blacked out housings sunken nicely into the bodywork. Then you can see a really sharp line in the lower portion with some gloss black trim along with one of the parking sensors and some mesh, and there's even a functional opening to allow air to enter the bumper. You can see the aggressive lower area to really add to the muscle of this car, and then even more gloss black trim with sensors, and then a huge opening with active grille shutters to improve efficiency when needed. We get the BMW kidney-shaped grills right on the top, finished in more gloss black. There's a forward-facing camera, and there's more active grille shutters. Really good looking SUV when you take a look at the front end. I just love how muscular and bold they look. Moving towards the hood, we get the BMW badge right in the center, and then really nice sharp lines cutting their way towards the windshield. And this green color looks really cool. It's kind of a greenish gray. As we move our way to the side profile, you can see another parking sensor and then all body color around this front fender arch. And we get a set of 22-inch gloss black M Sport wheels. Really cool design with a multi-spoke look. Then you can see a black trim piece behind the wheel. There's a sharp body line in the center portion of the doors, cutting their way all the way towards the back and above the rear wheel arch. Another fender flare in back, and a pretty aggressive design for the molding along the side skirt. You get a set of body colored door handles and body colored mirror caps with gloss black trim around them, LED turn signal as well as a camera on the side, and then all gloss black trim surrounding the windows. We get more of the gloss black along the roof rails, and then a panoramic sunroof up top. And then taking a look at the full side profile, I love how proportional the X5 is. It's a mid-size SUV and has a really good proportion front and back, and then the side profile has some fantastic lines. In back, you can see the body color for the shark fin antenna as well as this roof mounted spoiler. There's gloss black trim around it surrounding all of the glass, and then I love these LED taillights. They're 3-dimensional, kind of sunken into the bodywork a little bit. We get our xDrive 40i badge on the right, BMW as well as the backup camera right in the center, and of course X5 on the left. Really sharp lines coming around the rear end to tie in together this nice muscular appearance. And then down below we get some metallic gray trim with gloss black surrounding the exhaust tips, and a cool little design for this rear diffuser, and it really does come together. So there's a full look at the 2023 BMW X5, really good looking SUV, and I especially love with the M Sport package, you get all the black trim, and then this green color really stands out. We have BMW's key fob, very familiar. I can go ahead and lock it by just tapping on the BMW logo, and then all I have to do is grab the door handle. It'll automatically unlock, and we can check out this interior. This particular spec gets the Cognac Sense-A-Fin interior, which is a really nice brown leather, and you're gonna see some black color contrast. You can see the smooth black leather material on the upper portion of the door with aluminum trim for the release handle. You get lock and unlock and memory seating. Then the brown color making its way through the center. We get the liftgate, mirrors, and window controls, a nice sized grab handle, and then some padding for your armrests. Gray contrast stitching, then some silver trim with ambient lighting as well as some wood grain trim, then a pretty large storage area down below. We get the M logo on the aluminum door sill, And then all of your power controls are on the left side of the seat with your bolsters that you can adjust. We can even grab the front of this and we have a nice leg rest. And I really love the perforated leather all throughout the center with this diamond pattern. Really cool stitching, more perforated leather making its way up the backrest, even onto the headrest, and then smooth leather for all of the trim. We get a black leather steering wheel with a little bit of silver trim and the M logo. And then now sitting in the 2023 X5, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. All the LCD screens will come to life. You can see this is a full gauge cluster with the screen, speedometer is on the left, and the tach is over on the right, and we do get a navigation screen right in the center. There's an icon on the left stalk with BC. You can just tap that and scroll through quite a few different things in the right side of the gauge cluster. Comes up with all sorts of different information. And then I really like, if you go down here, we have different drive modes as well. We have the Sport, Comfort, and Eco Pro. If you tap any of these, it changes a little bit on the gauge cluster. Eco Pro, you get the efficiency look, and then going into Sport mode, gets a lot more performance focused. Taking a look at the steering wheel now, we get some leather around the airbag with a heater button. Then all your cruise control settings are over on the left side, and then some Bluetooth and audio controls are on the right. This does get steering wheel mounted paddle shifters that have a pretty nice look and feel. Turn signal stalk is on the left with automatic high beams, and then windshield wipers are over on the right side for front and back. On the left of the steering wheel, we have all of your headlight controls with the interior dimming, then a small storage cubby. You can see some silver trim, the wood grain accent, and then there is a heads-up display system that'll come up right in the glass. Moving across the dashboard, it's finished in this nice synthetic black leather material. There's more silver trim and then all of the wood trim along the dashboard. And then looking at the center infotainment screen, has a really nice look, pretty large screen, very familiar from other BMWs. Tapping the home icon, you can have this be a configurable setup. You can have all sorts of different information coming up here. So I really like how easy everything is. We have the media icon with everything right there. You can also go into communication for your cell phone integration, of course navigation. Under car, there's a few more things you can view. If you go into driver information, you even get sport displays, which is a pretty nice touch to see on this car. Even more information with apps, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and then just a few more. If I go ahead and put the car into reverse, our backup camera is going to pop up on the left with your top down on the right, and you can just tap these icons and get a little bit different view. On this left side, we do get a 3D parking camera. Tapping that, you can see the full view there, and then you just tap anywhere on this screen and it'll correspond to a different spot. And I love how it even uses your factory color. We also have a 3D car wash view that'll do a good top down. And then going ahead and just tapping the P button, we're back into park. Underneath the screen, there's two buttons. You have hazards as well as a safety system. The configure individual will show everything that you're able to adjust. And then beneath that, we get your climate control. We have fan speed on this left and right side, and I like how passengers even get their own independent fan speed. Of course, dual zone temperature, auto, all the different controls. Your heated seat buttons are on the far sides, and it's extremely simple. If I just tap menu AC, it comes up on the screen, and you can adjust a few more settings all within the car. Underneath that, we have some radio controls as well, and then some more of this gloss wood trim. By just pressing this up, it gets out of the way. We have two cup holders, a USB and a 12 volt, and then a wireless phone charging pad down in the center. You can see how everything is laid out. We have a control panel on this right side with a rotary dial. We have shortcuts all around it that you can operate the screen. So I like how it's super easy to use. You don't always have to use the touch screen. You can just use this control panel down here and hit different icons. We also have some shortcuts on the left for traction control, the camera system and parking sensors, those drive modes, and then an electronic parking brake. We have more of that nice leather making its way to the armrest, and then when you press this button, it opens up into two different pieces. You can see a USB port in there as well. And then moving over to the glove box. Pretty large bucket, as you would expect. And then one last look at the interior. 2023 hasn't really seen any crazy improvements. However, this is such a nice SUV to be in. I love the interior spec particularly. Very nice looking. We get a full black headliner on this particular spec with that massive sunshade for the panoramic roof. All of the controls are right in the center. By just pressing that one button, the sunshade will automatically go all the way to the back. And then up front, you can see our frameless mirror. Moving to the rear doors now, you can see how they're finished in the exact same color combination, and we even get the addition of a manual sunshade. Taking a look inside, I really love how you still get all the stitching and the perforated leather throughout the centers. Really makes it a premium rear seat. You can see storage on the back side of the seats as well as tablet holders, and then all of your climate controls as well as even heated seats, fan speed and temperature all throughout the center. And then you can take the center seat and pull this down. You can open this up for a nice bit of storage, and then even open the front up and you get 2 cup holders. So then sitting in the back seat of the 2023 X5, very roomy SUV. I'm at 5'11". I have plenty of headroom, and even with the driver's seat set at my height, I got really good knee room as well as foot room. Now the seats don't recline anymore, unfortunately, but you do have a pretty good size armrest, a ton of glass, of course that huge roof to give you so much light let into this interior. So definitely a nice place to be, especially with that center armrest. And then we get your dome lights up top as well as those grab handles. Moving on to the cargo area, you can just press the button underneath the BMW logo, and the upper portion of the liftgate is going to automatically pop open. Of course, you can use the button on the interior or the key fob. From there, you just tap this button, and the entire lower area is going to open down like in a pickup truck. The X5 gives you a ton of cargo area, as you can see, very squared off to make this extremely usable and practical. And with the seats folded down, you can see just how much more storage space you're going to get, and that privacy cover is also removable. Going through these side doors now, the seats lock down nearly flat, still giving you plenty of space up in front. Definitely a very practical SUV. From here, all you have to do is just press the upper button, and it's gonna automatically close everything together. So we are setting off now in the X5. I honestly am a big fan of these. With the mild hybrid system, this turbo 6-cylinder, this thing packs a really good punch. It's a pretty peppy SUV that you honestly can just use for everything. It is one of the best well-rounded cars out there. Giving it some throttle, I mean, it gets right up to speed so quickly, and it is such a solid SUV. That bump we just hit, you probably didn't even notice it. It is so solid. There's no rattles, there's no squeaks. These are absolutely one of the best SUVs on the market. But I love how solid it feels. It drives really good. Great visibility, as you can see, fantastic windshield. Mirrors all do a great job. And over your left and right shoulder, pretty good sized glass all around. And I like how those rear headrests actually fold downwards. And then the drive modes, if we go into the Eco Pro, it's a little bit more economical, throttle response is a little bit less, and it's just a little bit more comfortable driving the way it feels. However, we have the Sport mode, instantly throttle response is way sharper. Gosh, it packs a punch. Like, really, these things are so nice. Putting it into manual mode, the 8-speed transmission is really snappy. Of course, this is a popular transmission, the ZF 8-speed. Very responsive on the downshifts, and then of course when you upshift it, giving it some throttle, really quickly goes into every gear. I think the ride quality is one of the biggest things. It's just so smooth and comfortable. Things to use in here, it's very simple like you've seen in BMWs. There's really nothing new. However, you have such a good screen in the center. The gauge cluster gives you what you need without anything that you don't need. So I like how you kind of just get everything in the X5. All right, guys, so we are flipping around to my perspective. What do I think about driving the X5? I love these things. They are really just one of the best SUVs out there. I really like how stable and solid they are. And while for 2023, this one doesn't get the same new screens that pretty much the rest of the lineup is getting, I don't really feel like you would need it, honestly. This screen is bigger than, I believe, 2021. So it has a really large screen. It's like 12, 13, 14 inches, something like that. Plenty big, plenty of information too. And just the way these drive, they are so solid. They are built so well. I mean, I like how you're nice and high up. You can see above traffic. You can feel like you're in a bigger SUV. This is not a small SUV. It's certainly not just a basic little crossover. It's a good sized vehicle without having a third row, and the utility aspects are totally there in an X5. This one's kind of a mid-level trim with the 6-cylinder engine. You can also get into a V8 or get the X5M, which has the even more powerful V8. So you get a really good blend no matter which way you go. But even this being the more normal engine, it really is adequate. You're not going to think it's slow. And with the M Sport package, you get the performance look and feel to it. I mean, it just, you really can't complain much. Only complaints, the rear seats don't recline. I believe 2021 and older they did, so they took that out. And then in the cargo area, there used to be handles you could pull to lower these rear seats, which you have to go to the rear seats to lower them. So those two things are a little annoying. Only other little thing, the button up here to open and close the tailgate It rocks up and down, however, only one way actually makes it work. So it takes a little bit getting used to how that button works. But other than that, really no complaints. It's just a comfortable, roomy car. I mean, there's plenty of legroom, headroom, and everything in here just to be comfortable. Really good family SUV. And I just like everything about it, I really do. The tailgate, I will say, if you're a little bit shorter, maybe 5'5" or shorter, with the tailgate open, it might be hard to reach things in the back. So if you are buying this and maybe you're a little bit short of a person, it might be harder to get items you have in the cargo area. An X3 is probably going to be better. But other than that, I don't really see any downfalls with it. It does give you some pretty good usability. With that said, let's go back into the manual mode and sport mode. I like how there's 3 drive modes. It makes this kind of have that fun factor. And the sport mode, you can just feel that little bit extra performance in this. So then just getting up to some speed, transmission is nice and peppy. Not even redlining or doing anything too crazy in this. It's just such a well-balanced SUV. The xDrive all-wheel drive, of course, you can pretty much go anywhere. I mean, I sound like a broken record. It really is such a well-rounded option. And something that I would absolutely put on the list. And the pricing isn't too bad, especially if you go with just a more basic, even a rear-wheel drive 40i. You don't have to spec these too crazy, and you can get into something that is very nicely optioned and not much different in price from a Toyota or a Ford, quite honestly. Of course, you can spec these well over 100 grand, but I like how BMW throws a ton of different options your way in trim levels to really get the X5 that works for you. So I think that is then it, testing out the 2023 BMW X5, the xDrive 40i, pretty good blend. I love the color combination inside and out, and the M Sport package is a must. That just really drives like a solid vehicle and looks fantastic inside and out, and fit and finish, top notch. Really, really good SUV. That is it then. Huge shout out and thank you once again to Hendrick BMW Northlake. Big shout out to them for providing this 2023 X5 for today's video. Check out their website linked below. They're getting in a ton of 2023 inventory, so check them out. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content, and I'll see you all in the next video.